So hello everyone and welcome back to SmallSat Europe 2025 here in Amsterdam. I am here with my friends from Solidflow, a Dutch space company, and I would like to ask you to introduce yourself, and then we'll talk a little bit about what Solidflow is doing in the space industry. But please introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Toby. I'm working for Solidflow already for over 3 years, and I'm doing the mechanical engineering. So also the housing that you see here on the right is designed in-house, partially by me. And maybe everyone wants to
I
introduce
think that's a
themselves
good
now.
idea, and then we
Yeah.
talk about the product. Yes.
Hi, thank you. I'm Sigurd. I've been working with Solidflow for over 4 years now. My background is in aerospace engineering, but I mostly dabble with the propellant inside of the gas generators.
Last but
Hi,
not least,
my
Barry.
name is Barry Sanders. I'm the managing director of Solidflow. I'm originally studied in Delft, but I'm also an ISU alumni. And at ISU, I got the inspiration to, at a certain moment, leave, not only do engineering, but also start a company, which has become Solidflow.
Okay, well let's stay with that, Barry. Can you tell us a little bit about when it was founded? How old is Solidflow, and how did it start all the way in the beginning?
Yeah, the origin from Solidflow comes from TNO, where I worked from 2000 to 2012, where this was a new technology development. And in 2012, we decided that it was mature enough to be commercialized, to spin out. After 2012, we started a first company in cool gas generators. Of course, we went through a certain learning experience in that, but in the 2018, we were asked by the business incubator in Noordwijk to become part of them and to further develop this cool gas generator commercialization. And that in the end became Solidflow.
Okay, well let's go back to you, Siebert, and talk to us a little bit about the products, because we talk about solid flow and cool gas generators, but nobody knows what that is. So tell us a little bit about what is a cool gas generator.
Okay, a cool gas generator is basically a solid propellant rocket motor, but then a very low energetic level. So it has a solid propellant inside of the housing, which is ignited with an igniter. It burns like a cigarette, which then produces the hot gases on the top. And then since the propellant is porous, it pushes the gases through the unburned propellant, preheating the propellant, but also cooling down the gases that you already created. And thereby, at the exit of the gas generator, you get a cool gas. So it's just slightly above ambient temperature, which you then can use for applications where you need just a pressure and gas, such as for inflatable systems, but also for repressurization of propellant tanks. So you can look at it as an alternative way to store gas.
Okay. Now, going back to you.
Yeah.
What are the main applications of this cool gas that these products produce?
Well, this one is producing CO2. This is the 20 normal liter CO2 cool gas generator. And this is used to pressurize down tank systems. So normally you have in a tank, you have it filled with fuel. And you have on the other side, you have some pressurization gas. And that pressurization gas is also taking up valuable space in the tank. Now, by fully filling the tank with fuel and combining it with the cool gas generator, it is able to get 20% more delta V from introducing this to the system.
And delta V, but then we talk about rocket motors.
Yeah, so the whole system has the tank and the engine, and combining it in the system will
Okay,
give it
so
more use.
tanks, we talk about rocket fuel tanks, rocket
Yeah.
propellant tanks.
Yeah. Yeah. And another application from that is, as Sir already mentioned briefly, is an inflatable heat shield. So to get a satellite safely back home, it's important to bend the heat around the satellite and by the one shown on that pamphlet. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Down there, flying through the air. That is inflatable heat shield. So the cool gas generator will then work to inflate the heat shield and bend around the heat. And a last application that's also on the banner is inflatable deorbit device. So it's a sail, inflatable sail, a drag sail, and that drag sail will help bring down the satellite back to Earth. So we don't have a space degree in that sense.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so these are the space applications, and perhaps we can go back to Barry
Yeah.
to talk a little bit about the evolution of Solidflow in the sense that it's not all space applications, correct?
No, it isn't. We're all three space engineers. So we started as rocket engineers, designing rockets and propulsion systems. But as Sigurd already said, it's basically an alternative way to store gas. So you can do a lot of other things. And the main advantages of this way of storing gas is it's not pressurized, it doesn't need any maintenance, it cannot leak, it is robust. So you can use it in places where you need gas storage, which has this kind of applications. For example, you can use it for emergency drive, for emergency actuators, where you don't want to have any maintenance, or you want to put it somewhere and don't have to look at it, but in the emergency it still has to work. And in that way, we also got into contact with the Dutch military, and they said, well, we have a problem, because if a soldier gets wounded on the battlefield, we cannot provide them with oxygen, because we cannot send a medical soldier with a 200 bar oxygen bottle on that's too dangerous. And with our technology, we can make an unpressurized oxygen storage. And with that way, soldiers who get wounded and need oxygen because of blood loss, or because they are hit in the lungs, can be immediately treated with oxygen, and therefore increases their chances of survival. And of course, for our company, it's really beautiful that from space technology, you can make stuff that really will save lives in the future.
Yeah.
And for that, we are developing this device, which is called EVE, for our Dutch military. But also, for example, general practitioners, they also told us, hey, I don't want to have a 200 bar oxygen tank in the back of my car.
Yeah.
And it has a regulation valve, and I don't know how that exactly works. I just want to have a simple device which I can push the button and I give the patient oxygen until the ambulance comes.
So do I understand then that the ignition inside the unit creates oxygen
Yes.
out of solid propellant?
Yeah. And basically it's a chemical process.
Yeah.
So we have certain chemicals which are rich in oxygen, and we design a chemical reaction that when the reaction is started, the original material is converted in another material and oxygen. And the original material of the new material stays in the gas generator, and the oxygen comes out. And like Sigurd explained, by using a porous material, the hot gas is automatically cooled to the level that a patient can immediately breathe from it.
Okay, excellent. So it started with space technology, then venturing into, well, to healthcare, into emergency services.
Yes.
And then, well, hopefully with that back into space applications as well.
Of course, an oxygen generator can be also used for an astronaut on a spacewalk. And to give another example, and we have it here, this is a gas generator which was developed to inflate life jackets.
Ah.
And again, it's not pressurized, it's compact, it's easy to transport. For example, pressurized cylinders, you cannot transport in an aircraft. This you can transport in an aircraft. So it has a lot of advantages.
Excellent. We'll finish, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Where can people find information about all these products?
So you can find it on solidflow.nl, and you can also visit our LinkedIn page, search for Solidflow BV, so come to us for all your gas storage needs, and we'll happy to help you.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for sharing this amazing Dutch space company story.
Yeah, no
as
problem.
As a fellow Dutchman, I'm very proud to feature Dutch inventions and the Dutch space sector at large. So thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you very much.